serving American at a free or discounted rate. So those are the type of things we can do. Health savings accounts, we can do that. We can look at the cost for medical equipment and also drugs and things, so that we can do what is right without taxing the American people, which is what this legislation is going to do.
You also have an idea to change the way we collect our taxes, correct?
Yeah, absolutely right. One of the things, Rusty, that is killing this country, you're talking about 45 to 50% of Americans that aren't paying taxes, but yet they vote. We have got to get to the point where we don't have this easy to pick on electoral base for the liberals to use, where they can say free this, free that. So we've got to, I think, before we can get to eventually what would be the most fair thing, a fair tax or consumption tax, we can go to a flat tax, which means a 13, 14% across-the-board income tax for everyone with no deductions. We look at our corporate and business tax rate that's 33%. We can cut that in half and bring it down to 16 to 17%. You look at capital gains, dividends tax, the estate tax, all of those things should be eliminated. And, as far as payroll taxes, let's suspend that until we see the right type of economic indicators. Mainly, we get Americans back to work. And that's one of the great things that small businesses could use, suspension of payroll taxes, to get them their feet back on solid ground.
Alan West is his name. He is a retired lieutenant colonel. He's running for Congress in the 22nd District. He's got a great website, alanwestforcongress.com. Now, you are running in Florida.
Yeah.
So that means, I guess, you are for amnesty and a lot of illegal immigrants coming across the border, right?
Oh, yeah, and I'm also for, a hole in my head. No, absolutely not. One of the things that, is also affecting our health care. We've got a Jackson Memorial down in Miami-Dade. We have a hospital system up in Martin County, just north of us. It's being affected by illegal immigration. And, if we cut the corporate business tax rate down, as I said, 16, 17%, we can start to hire Americans. We can get Americans back to work. We don't have to worry about this cheap labor. Illegal immigration is a national security issue. It's an economic issue. It's an education issue. It's a health care issue. And it's taking this country down because we just cannot afford to have something like this going on. That's not being racist or xenophobic. That's just being an American and speaking the truth. And the thing is, I'm seeking to go to the United States House of Representatives and be a voice for the people down here in District 22 and also for Americans, not for people that are coming across our borders illegally. So that's a huge thing that we have to fix. And you already see the people in Washington, D.C. talking about that's their next target, that they will continue the electoral base of this country.
Now, I'm noticing gas prices are starting to go up. Florida is one of those states where there's a lot of oil, we believe, offshore, but they won't. The politicians are against us drilling offshore. What's your thoughts on that?
Rusty, we have to do this. The thing is, down here in the state of Florida, we know we're approaching, at some places, we're already over 12% unemployment, and that's a reported number. Energy independence is a national security and also an economic issue for the American people, and it's definitely something here in the state of Florida that we could use to create a new economic boom for this state, whereby we cannot continue on believing that tourism and agriculture is going to do it for us. We know that China is already off the coast of Florida, cutting lease deals with Cuba, and when you have this new technology of slant drilling, you can offset an oil platform and come right into our continental shelf. The oil and natural gas and the full spectrum of our energy resources is something that we need to go after, so we're not sending our money to China or to Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Mexico, or Nigeria. You look at what's happening in Western Europe, where they're being held hostage by the pipelines that come out of Russia. We've got to get serious about this, and it's not just about, green energy. It's about the full spectrum.
All right, well, before I let you go, Colonel Alan West here on the Rusty Humphries Show, how's it going? Are you getting some great response there in Florida, District 22?
Oh, yeah.
And how about
Absolutely.
the conservative movement? Are you feeling good about it right now?
Absolutely. We could not be happier where we are with this race. In 2009, we raised $1.2 million. Wow. We are, really catching up to the incumbent, Ron Klein. as far in the fundraising aspect. We're in the top 10 congressional races in the country, and we've been elevated to a quote-unquote young gun status by the National Republican Congressional Committee. And, Americans are looking for principled leaders that understand limited government, national security. We've got to restore individual responsibility and accountability. We've got to have free market solutions. We've got to focus on our liberty, and we've got to have leadership, and we got to get away from this leadership by entitlement, but truly leadership that is talent-based and merit-based. And I think that that's what is causing us to have the great success that we're having all across the nation. So I would invite people to go to our website. We've got a lot of great videos on YouTube. If you just type in my name, Alan West, one of them has about 2.1 million hits.
Wow, and I'm guessing you wouldn't mind if somebody came and donated a couple of dollars.
No, you can always throw some bones down this way, because I think one of the critical things we have to look at is it's going to take 40 seats for us to win to get the gavel out of Nancy Pelosi's hand. So, a lot of people are seeing this race down here in Florida 22 as a national race, and they really are getting behind us. We're getting support from all over the country. So please, if you think that our message is a message that you believe in, donate to this campaign. And it's like I said, continue my service and my sacrifice and commitment to this country.
His name is Alan West. He wants to be in Congress representing the 22nd District of Florida. You can help him. AlanWestForCongress.com. AlanWestForCongress.com. I hope to call you Congressman soon, Alan. Thank you very much for being on the Rusty Humphries Show.
Thank you, Rusty, and you have a great day out there.
All right, Colonel West, thank you so much for being on the Rusty